Welcome to the final Dark Devotion stream, I am assuming. I know I've done this before when I say, oh, this is the last stream of this playthrough of this game, and then it turns out it isn't, but I'm confident we're gonna be fine with this one. So, okay, so it's still registering in this Xbox controller. We haven't killed all bosses. I don't think we're gonna kill all bosses, so the plan right now is go fight the third of the big three that we need to kill. If that goes really fast, we'll just try the final boss and see how it goes. And we might do some other bosses we haven't fought until then, until it's like closer to ending the stream. So we'll see how it goes. Anything to upgrade? Something for 80. Armor slows enemies down. Technically, I'd want something here, but we're probably gonna get that. This is a real final boss? I don't know. To be honest. So we have this little chart here, which basically tells us how many bosses we've killed. The right half is like post butcher or whatever, executioner area, and this is like the first half of the game. So in the first half of the game we're missing 2 bosses. I'm not sure which ones. And then the second half, we're missing, so the final boss, which is, I'm guessing, the big orb, the tiny orb, which is the dual boss, and then there's another spot, which I assume is the summoner boss, the one with the flames, which we fought but haven't killed. So we attempted this boss last time with like no health or anything, just to see what they do. And they do things. Also, man, I was looking for something on the forums for this game, and I came across a thread where somebody was also complaining about, like, hey, why can't you save like in the game and continue where you left off? They just got dogpiled by random people going like, oh, it's a roguelike, what do you expect? There's no saving in roguelikes. And I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not what they asked for. They literally just asked to continue where they left off. Plus, also, if it's a single player game and somebody wants to save scum, just let them fucking save scum. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Also, aren't roguelikes like wet, randomly generated?
Yeah. No, this isn't a roguelike. This is kind of like a quasi-roguelike. Okay, that's unblockable. Oh, these just track. Okay, okay, that's fair, I guess. I feel like this might be an annoying fight.
Just a bit.
Something's telling me. Oh, silly me, I rolled too much. Can you like please stop spamming that shit?
I was about to say. Sometimes
Wow, wow.
Rude.
That was a very long sequence of events.
Not gonna revive, he's just gonna shoot at Bear a million times.
The pop never stops.
Well, it's more like it's so long. I'm not sure. Like, do they ever stop? Is this the part where they just don't stop ever? Like, well, like it doesn't feel like it's their oh I am enraged now I'm gonna shoot because you harmed my friend. Because if it was that, then it should have had like a more imposing visual thing that I haven't seen so far. Instead it just goes like, it's maybe the same attack, maybe it's not, maybe it's bugged, maybe it's RNG, who knows? You sure as hell don't. What happens
Are you
if
saying that this game has a problem with visual indicators?
What happens if you take out the archer first? I don't know, this is like, it was the first proper attempt we had at the boss. When I tried at the end of the previous stream, it was literally just, I have 2 health, I just want to see what I'm finding. We're gonna try taking out the archer first. The archer is definitely more annoying, as archers usually are.
Look,
We should take out the ranged first.
set your pawn as a mitigated this time.
What? What pushed me back?
Yes, he did.
These people are dicks.
Oh, you can't go after the archer first because he's just gonna kite forever.
Lovely.
Also, the archer has an unblockable tracking attack.
Of course. Turn your shield upwards.
Nobody has ever aimed a shield upwards. It's impossible. Too heavy.
Also, the reason I have to dodge so much is because I can't walk through an enemy. I have to like roll through them to actually get through. Fuck off. Oh, it blocks him as well. Okay, makes sense. That's fine.
Delightful.
Wish I had stamina.
Go, dude.
Yeah, I just don't have
Okay.
stamina. I don't have stamina. How does that even like hit? Like I was away from him.
And the fact that your attack has such a huge wind-up means it's just...
Well, the answer is simple. I should just use a better weapon.
Yeah, those better weapons, like...
A fist that takes 5 years to like start.
Exactly. That's just good game design.
Okay, the archer is actually dead. Okay. Okay, so that,
Oh no.
okay, so we are enraging them.
No.
I actually don't know which one is. I should probably just like keep them at equal health and then finish them off at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably the idea.
This might be one of those boss fights.
At least the other one doesn't regenerate health to full, or some dumb stuff like that.
Well, if you can't hit him, it doesn't really matter.
Ivy, please.
Ooh, no armor repair kits. Love that. So yeah, as soon as we kill one boss, the other boss is like, "How dare you!" And then they spam their attack forever. Whereas when I go, "How dare you!" I just fall over and die because nobody asked me about for anything. Okay, try to keep their damage around the same length. How? Well, I got hit twice there.
Of course.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, that also hit me. Right. Oh my god.
I forgot to ask this last stream, but does the player have any access at all to a ranged option?
Yes. So here's the problem with that. When you start from the hub, you can only pick one weapon. So you can have like a sword and board, you can have a ranged weapon, or you can have a two-handed weapon. So that means that if I were to pick a ranged weapon, I would probably run out of ammo mid-fight, and I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Nice.
So it's kind of useless to have a range option. The only way to have like a reliable range option. Okay. Damn it. The only way to have like a reliable ranged option is to find it while playing the game. Because then you can slot it. Because you have two loadouts. Like I have loaded 1, loaded 2. It's just that when you're foraging, you can only have one loadout. Which is really, really frustrating, because that means I won't use half the weapons.
Yeah, I don't understand why you can't just get both.
I don't know either. And it's also like I can't have like, say, like a... Like I can't have a... I'll try this one. More consistent. I can't have, say, like a magic loadout and like a sword and board loadout also because of that. Like it is pretty annoying.
I imagine.
I'm gonna try this sword and see if it works better.
Maybe they're elementally weak to lightning.
Maybe. I kind of doubt they give elemental weaknesses to bosses, to like the set bosses, because they're so close to each other. Ivy, probably that your fingers hurt.
Not to wear a special glove.
You forgot the proper technique and the string keeps hitting you in the side of the hand. Minus 100 weapon damage.
I mean, this seems to do more damage, but also slow as shit.
Yeah.
Is it actually slower than the katana, or does it just feel slower?
Oh yeah, it's moving slower.
Yeah, it feels like it's moving slower, but I'm not sure.
But it feels like we got way more consistency in damage.
Yeah, because like the stat block doesn't account for elemental damage. Oh, fuck off. It doesn't account for elemental damage, and also the range is much tighter. Focus on the arch now. If only I had stamina. Ow!
Fucking hell.
I healed twice by accident. Nope. I don't have stamina to roll. Never have stamina. Just live a life without stamina.
Don't you just love resource management? Isn't it just the best?
I don't know if like 0.5 stamina regeneration is better than plus 5 damage to blade weapons.
Couldn't hurt.
Let's try it. The difference is, do I have no stamina or do I have even less no stamina? Or even more no stamina, the correct form. It's also like annoying that whenever I see like talks about this game, like not whatever I say, but when I see like the Steam forums talking about this game, it's like that same issue with most Souls like where people complain about some stuff and it's like get good essentially. Because no matter what your game is, if it's somehow difficult, people will like defend it if it's possible to master it.
Sometimes, even if it isn't.
This is like miserable. This is miserable.
Yeah.
Like I have
Your
to,
stamina seems to have not changed at all.
like I have so much stuff I need to dodge. And then it's like, where's my stamina for swinging?
Maybe there's a super secret item out there you haven't found that like triples your stamina regen or something.
Possibly.
There is probably a trinket, which means
Yeah, which
guys losing it.
yeah, we're probably never never getting a fucking trinket. I hated these like arrows when she does the unblockable shit. It's like it's not even like tracking you, it's just like spamming everywhere. Whereas in Dark Souls, like when they do that dumb shit of like, oh here's like a really big attack, at least it follows you and you run away from it. Oh, I need to focus on him now. Fuck your blocks. There we go.
Ooh.
Are we done yet? Or are we gonna have like a sad cinematic or something?
Well, they're going to merge and it's phase 2 time. Or not. How about that?
I wonder if that takes into account who you killed first, like it does with Ornstein and Smart. It probably actually does.
Yep.
How much damage does this do? 74 to 104, 69 to 78. Well, we unlocked this. We unlocked this, but well, it's the thing is, the drop you get from the boss is always more powerful than the one you get from restarting a run.
Ah.
So like this will probably be around the same range as this, when we die.
Mm.
Also, hey, okay, Shizzle.
So you've beaten all 3 of them. What now?
I think now the gate opens in the center. Don't really have anything. Also, we don't have a curse right now. So I'm gonna actually try something. I'm gonna go... Can I actually go back and forth through doors? I wonder. Ah, okay. Then I won't go through the other door. Then it's probably gonna be a refight if we do that. Okay, let's see the big door. What's up here? Well, peristyle. The king's memoirs. The temple and sovereignty prosperous. Beauty exists in many states as long as one can perceive it, and nothing is more beautiful than devotion in the eyes of God. You understood that, O good monarch. You fought to show the virility, power, and brilliance of your ideas. Your subjects, your queen, and your 2 sons stand behind you forever. Okay.
2 sons?
There were many victories, one such against the Templars, their deity imprisoned, crystallized. My king, how grateful are we for your protection. Yet golden ages sadly only last a time, and like a cycle, the universe darkens once again forever.
Cycles, you say?
Yeah, it's history repeats itself. Endless cycle of life and death.
History shows again and again. Nature points out the folly of man.
Influenced by the holy crystal, or what do we know? Its white sparkle brought on our damnation. Weakness grew amongst our ranks. Pernicus and surreptitious. I don't know what these words are. And since then, the Templars move ever closer to the bowels of the temple, which seem out of control forever. Yeah, sorry, I don't have a thesaurus on hand. Okay, let's see what the final boss is like. Kills you and wipes all your progress.
Surreptitious is a word, but I can't tell you what it means without looking it up.
What have you done with my sons? Same thing I'm gonna do to you, lady. Oh god, what is this? So it's like every attack she has unblockable? Oh god, it is.
This sucks.
This is also probably only phase 1 of like 3.
Yeah.
Would the spear be doing more damage right now?
Probably.
Well, she's blocking, so we don't know. Okay, so of course, as she throws become mines.
There's your curse.
Shit!
Phase 2. Everyone loved King Alan, right?
I guess.
Which, I don't remember. Which fight is that?
Damn it.
It was from Demon Souls.
I had like no health.
Yeah.
There was the false King Alant, and then there was the real one. It was just a writhing meat sack,
Yeah.
half submerged in water.
Let's see. I'm gonna assume the spirit is not much weaker. Yeah, now it's 45 to 67.
Ooh.
Nice.
I guess now the question is, do we go and fight the final boss right away, or do I try and do some stuff before that?
Let's fight the final boss right away. See what happens.
I think it's time for cleanup.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the game just doesn't also end abruptly, so there's that. As in, maybe we can continue to 100% it or some shit.
Maybe it's gonna give us a prompt to start Journey 2. This is taking all these cues from Dark Souls 2 in the first place.
Wow.
Hey,
Is that it?
apparently.
That's super anticlimactic. That can't be it.
That's just the queen. We haven't fought the king yet.
There you go. Oh, this is jittering badly.
I think it's supposed to be a screen shake effect.
Yeah, with a screen shake effect.
Yeah, it's bad though.
Correct.
No, we gotta teleport here. Okay. Now the game will go, wow, you didn't kill all the bosses. Here's a shitty ending where everything is shit. Also, what is that flickering? Is that even intentional?
Who knows?
So if your visual effect doesn't look in a way where you can't say, like, if you can't say whether your visual effect is intentional or not, you should probably change it. Yeah, that looks like
Void.
that looks like my V-Sync is broken or something, or like there's just screen tearing everywhere. Oh, I had to hold it right.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this all about? The Guardian, Abyssus Jailer. Wow, that is a final boss.
Yeah, look at this shit.
Okay.
It's the culmination of all the mechanics you fought before.
Oh, well, that's grand because
Finally.
yeah, mechanics like time stop.
Someone's playing Mortal Kombat 11.
I can already tell this is gonna be absolutely miserable. I like that he has pinball bumpers on his field.
Great. Great.
You know how Dark Souls enemies don't just swing forever?
Monster 3.
I'll have you know, I'm a really big fan of Dark Souls and all things from Software, and this is exactly how they play.
Exactly how they play.
Exactly. As a big fan of the series, I can testify that this is exactly what it feels like.
And you're just missing 3 bosses.
Yeah, this probably gonna be miserable. I think it's gonna take like an hour to beat. Like usually I had a good like feel like when we fought a boss like okay this is gonna take like 3 or 4 attempts, I can take this. Not here. I can immediately tell this is gonna be forever.
He swings 8 times and immediately combos into something else.
Like, am I supposed to just run from him when he does that shit?
Blocking doesn't work.
No blocking.
Rolling better than looks, so probably.
I think I can get away with dodging only the second hit. Yeah, he has ads as well, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Just like Wolner. But see, after he does some things, he just sits there for 5 minutes. That makes it fair.
He also has a time stop, which is the most fair mechanic I've ever seen in a Souls-like.
Tokyo Torabe.
Have you tried getting good? And just getting over it?
That's a different game, Marithian.
What, this isn't Bennett fun?
Like, I'm kinda like, does he need ads? Like, this is what I call, like, the Tech 13 system. Do you need this in addition to everything? Does your boss, in addition to all the fucking moves, you need to give them ads as well? Can you, like fucking chill?
Apparently the answer was no.
It's like, oh, we played this game and I managed to kill that boss, be there on my first try with just this weapon. Like, you just need practice. It's like, yeah, but it's your job to test the game every day during development. I'm here to, like,
Again.
play it like a mortal.
I hope this apocryphal that they said for when they're making Bloodstained, that a boss was only allowed to go past if you could beat it on level 1 with the basic knife.
I agree with that, by the way, because like,
Yeah,
the people need to be kept in fucking check. Like, level designers need to like fucking cool it.
Oh, I absolutely agree. If you cannot beat the enemy without with just using the basic equipment, it should not be allowed.
I mean, yeah. I like if I made like something like this, I'd be like, I want you to no-hit that boss. Until you can no-hit that boss, like you cannot make him.
Oh yeah, that's right. They also had to no-hit it in at level 1 with the knife.
Oh yeah, definitely that. Like that should be like mandatory. What the fuck is this now?
I think that's him, and he's the ball now.
I love playing Sonic's Pinball Souls. My favorite Souls-like.
Oh, I can't wait for someone to make the Souls-like pinball game. Because surely that would be interesting.
The game is just perpetually on tilt.
The real secret is that pinball was always Souls-like.
Fucking hell.
Bullshit. It's gonna eat your quarters.
Why does that like phantom-like ad? What the fuck is this now? Oh my fucking
It really is pinball
god!
now.
This is like the worst fucking thing ever.
I believe
Wait, did he
Chrono
gain
Climber had
health
more
back?
chill than this.
Also, bosses in the game without jumping should not be allowed to stand this fucking high. Or to fly this fucking high. Like, that's ridiculous. Please let me swing at this shitty fucking ad, you shitty fucking game. I'm not playing, kill me. I'm not playing, kill me. Kill me. Not playing this shit. We're restarting. That is like ridiculous. Fucking project. If you have something that looks like a phantom ad, make it take like 1 point of damage and then let it fuck off. Like, my attention shouldn't be on the boss that has how many different moves so far? He has pinball mode.
We're in the double digits now.
So he has set pinballs, he has time stop, he has lunge swing that also has several variants because combos. He has pinball form, he has big orb form, he has summoned 2 different types of ads, and I don't know what else, so that's 7 things right now.
We haven't even got to phase
Put
2
everything
yet.
I've observed in the comment.
What if we just gave enemies the ability to do everything, all the time? And
They-
also gave them all the health.
Then you'd have Lords of the Fallen. That's basically Lords of the Fallen, just everybody does everything. God, if I didn't have Cherry Coke with me, I'd be even more pissed right now. And now I'm gonna be time stopped.
Oh, also, when he stops time, the ads can still just stab you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the
And he
thing
can
that time
stop the
stops me.
ad and immediately afterwards stop time, so you just take a hit no matter what.
Okay, he abandoned his plan of having an ad. I should be happy about
How
that.
worth that is.
Oh my god. All I want from my life is stamina. When I grow up, I want to have stamina. That's my dream right now. Fuck game development. I'm gonna go to the gym just so I can have stamina now. Alright, he has this attack. I forgot about the count this. Okay, so that's 8 attacks that I know of so far. Why does the fucking ad dodge roll?
Cause fuck you.
Fucking swing it! Swing! That is never dying.
Oh. There's another one.
He's,
So's got an axe and a shield.
you met the ads that could dodge, now let's look at the ads that can block. New evolution of ads.
Starting to think this game fucking sucks. Call it a hunch.
Oh, now he changes his combo. Gotcha. Now it's stab stab instead of stab swoosh.
Does teleport stab count as a different move? I think it should.
It's a different combo. I mean, if we count the different combos, then he has like an additional 5 moves. The best part about that stab is that stab can either be a teleport stab, it can be a regular stab, or it can be it can be a regular stab. So when he starts charging it up, he doesn't teleport; he just goes straight ahead. He can start charging it up and then teleport, and then after that, he can either continue into another teleport stab or go into a swing. And you don't know which he's gonna do, obviously. Basically, you have to read 10 different possible things. Oh boy, I get 2 little explosions. They're gonna be so good. Might as well save them for the ads.
Pocket bomb.
Then again, depending on the ad, it might not do anything. Fuck your time with the shenanigans.
Because he's the final. He's theoretically the final boss, Torpid.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another boss after it. 100%.
The king.
If we have to do like 2 bosses in a row, I'm gonna lose my like fucking mind. Okay, so bombs for ads, not the worst idea I've had.
Actually, this dude's supposed to be the jailer of the abyss, so there may in fact be another boss after.
I mean, yeah, look at the background. Look who's trapped in the crystal. It's the final boss. Like in the center where the orb is. Like that is most definitely a boss.
Yeah.
This he still takes damage. Oh, okay, cool. Love the variety in your combos, man. It's like playing a fighting game. What's he gonna do? Nobody knows. Is he gonna stab? Please let me swing, please. Oh my god, how much health can a fucking ad have? Okay, it's dead. That was like 80 damage and it didn't die. It's like they're getting more health. that was too late of a roll. Damn it.
Oh. Well, that was something new for a second.
I don't have stamina. I didn't have stamina to avoid that last one.
Right at the finish line. Right at the finish line.
Oh god, why is this?
Like I could not do anything about the last strike.
Oh, just awful.
Could have managed your stamina better. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I am rolling too much. Like, technically I have rolled when I shouldn't have, but it's like so fucking hard to tell when he's gonna do something.
Is there a cheat engine table for this? I'm curious.
Nah, we're not gonna cheat.
Probably not.
I know, but I just wanted to know.
I'd rather quit a game than cheat on that.
Oh, I'm the opposite.
Oh my god, take a fucking chill pill.
Now
Wow.
I'm curious
You
if
done?
anyone cared enough, and apparently they did.
Oh, look, he's
'cause
doing
there's
it again.
At least 3 of them.
Like, I can't swing. Oh, fuck. Can't swing when these fucking pinball bumpers are next to me. So the only way to have enough stamina for that bullshit is to... Fuck. Is to walk under certain attacks and, like, dodge others.
Combo, there's that.
Wait, what? How did I get time stopped? Honestly, when he's in crystal form, that should do fucking damage. Because he he is immediately able to attack out of that.
Like, if you can hurt him in ball form, you can hurt him. You should be able to hurt him in crystal form.
I can't.
You even see damage numbers come off the crystal when you whack it with your sword. It just doesn't do anything.
Like, I cannot manage the fucking ads and this guy at the same time. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he doesn't need ads. Like it's over designed. There's no need to have ads. There's already so much to learn about the fight.
I think I know the secret to his stab. If you don't move, his lunges will always just whiff.
That is partially true. Because if he teleports, yes, it will whiff. If he decides not to teleport but lunge at you, it will hit you. If you stand still.
What the fuck?
Is there a one-handed weapon you could use?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna make a difference, to be honest. Like, this one doesn't like enough damage. Oh boy, I can't carry all the items. I guess I'll just, like, forego the fucking bomb.
I think we'd have the same problem with a one-handed weapon because the issue isn't our swings take too much stamina, it's our dodges take too much stamina.
So say if I stand still, see, he hits you. Because he didn't teleport there. But if he were to teleport, then it would go above me. Oh, never mind, it doesn't go above me either. I think if I think it's like mid-combo, then yeah, it'll fucking miss.
I love just these randomized moves.
Honestly, if it weren't for the ads, like, this would be far more manageable. Like, I think I would have gotten this by now. But just like the ads are such like a fucking RNG factor. Look at that! Like, he fucking dodges on spawn!
Dodges so far too, like your dodge rolls don't go that far.
So yeah, see, if I'm under him and he stabs, then like, yeah, it'll miss. Like this. But if he comes at me from a distance, then no, it's not gonna miss. And then there's like... And now he's immediately like, oh, fuck you, here's an ad. Welcome back, motherfucker. I can't swing at it. I just kill me. I can't fight the archer. There's nothing.
Really feeling that roguelike essence.
Roguelike bullshit essence. They're like...
Well, I've gotta go.
Catch you later.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Have fun doing something that isn't this.
Work. And it will be. Sadly.
God, what a nerd.
I just can't. I just gets me so mad, and I really, God, that glitch effect. I just everything about this just keeps getting me more angry.
Do you like the swing? It's my favorite musical genre. Do you like Sinatra?
No, not really.
How about your wife? Does she like swinging?
What is your favorite edition of Fly Me to the Moon? I appreciate the one from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Because of its symbolic... Because of its symbolic meaning and context of the show.
That they just wanted something chill after all the other nonsense.
Exactly.
But in better Auto news, they finally gave Auto an Ultraman! Officially this time.
Oh, well, I entered the time warp field. Fuck me. Gotta get stabbied. Oh, not. Okay, I lucked up there. Never mind, there's my stab you with interest. Fuck off. Oh, that didn't kill you, you piece of. Please, game, let me just fucking murder this piece of shit. Fucking hate the ads so much. Wow, wow, both of those fucking swings missed. That's just grand.
Because hitbox.
Yep, cursed good spear.
Like this doesn't feel like it has any cohesion to it, like thematically.
It's like total chaos. This is what world without religion is. That's why it's like so dangerous and chaotic.
This is the future the atheists want.
Exactly.
Wait, man, I can't even tell if this. Is this what they're trying to say? Cause I can't tell.
I don't know. Like this boss here, he's like one of those atheist YouTubers. Like he's like I don't know, the reasonable warden or something like that. The rational
Is he
warden.
the one that poured hot oil on his tiny dick?
I mean, yeah. Look at how many holes he has. That's all from the hot oil.
Damn.
I'm stuck against. I was stuck against the ad. I was
Yeah,
stuck. I couldn't move out.
Oh bullshit! You had that fight.
The ad has collision, and he got me stuck in the corner.
I really feel like the ad is just there because they thought it was too easy otherwise.
Yes, yes. That's totally the reason it's there. Like, the ad was added at the end and it was just like, yeah, we need this to make this fight challenging because everybody on the team can beat it after playing the game for like 50... No, not 50, like 300 hours. Maybe I'm gonna try and change all of that after this. Did he summon an ad? Like, I can't tell. Okay, now he's summoning an ad.
That's the worst ad.
Yeah, the one with the blocking is probably the worst. Didn't have stamina. Now I'm gonna get time stop. Oh, now I'm cornered. Damn it. Like, I feel like after a crystal breaks, he should be like dazed or something. If he's not like gonna take damage in crystal form. It's really like, oh, you broke the crystal, now he's like a bit dazed, here have like 2 free hits or, you know, heal or something. Oh my fucking god. Every time I kill an ad before it does anything, it feels like I'm like the best Souls-like player in the world. feels like I have like a giant galaxy brain.
Feels like you're driving your brain forward.
Exactly. Shit. Oh my god, fucking...
Sweden has a luxury car brand?
I have no clue. That is a very complicated question for the middle of this fight. I'm sorry, I don't know. Oh my fucking... Oh no. Oh, thank god. That was like extremely lucky.
Saved by the pinball.
Ah. Achievement.
Thank God.
Achievement unlocked. Gott ist tot. That means God is dead in German.
Not all of the corrupted souls within the temple were purged. And like the insect attracted to the flame that finally reaches its goal, it is in a gruesome spark that the temple takes its inhabitants and draws its last breath.
Oh man, I didn't kill all the bosses. Bad ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a bad ending because, like, again, we didn't go and kill all the bosses.
Yeah, no, like.
Wait, but how is it God is dead when you explicitly weren't fighting God and God was in the crystal?
I don't know.
I don't know. Thematic fucking
Who knows?
shit of Steam achievements.
Also,
Hissing into the wind.
also, it's not like this game has like a story for really. Like it has the inklings of here's some events that happened, but there's no coherent, like no central narrative to drive through.
I mean,
I
it's
believe they think they do.
it's definitely like those, like, you know, like those old games where I don't know, like Shinobi or Comic Zone, where you fail to save, like the damsel in distress at the end, and you get like a bad ending, and it's like, oh, you beat the entire game, but you didn't do this thing, so now it's a bad ending. Bye. Even though there's no story. That's basically this. It's kind of like, cool, you beat the game, but you didn't do everything we told you, so fuck off.
But you didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, it's basically we didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds. That's what this is. Robotnik is just laughing at us from his, like, I don't know, chapel.
His Robotnik land mass.
This was Kickstarted. I didn't know it was Kickstarted.
Well, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Like
So I was,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
all else aside, running a successful Kickstarter and getting it to product, that deserves, quality of the game aside, that deserves to be applauded.
Yeah, but one of those backers was called Andre Praise the Sun, and he had the Praise the Sun emote, so really, was it worth it?
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
I like the Kickstarters I back, like with when they have like those platform compendiums, like the Master System compendium and stuff like that. They just literally say, yeah, you have to give us your real name. Sorry, no internet usernames. Because they're gonna print it in the book. And it's like, I know some people want to give their real name or whatever, but it's also like, a lot of these are not witty.
So you're comfortable giving them your credit card number, but not your real name. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mostly, like, whenever I see people like that, it's mostly from the US, people are really paranoid about giving their real name.
It all also a lot of the like for like video game stuff is probably out of laziness because just people forget to actually change that.
Also, hey, here's 200 XP for us beating this game.
Finally.
Yeah. Man, I want to talk a lot about this game. I have images to talk about this game.
Is it time for a game design theory?
Well, no, it's like I want to talk like in more in the, because usually I use the credits to just say my impressions, but there's like a lot of things about this game.
We need visual aids to describe this.
Yeah, we do. It's like I don't hate this game, but because like I don't think it's like terrible. I just think it's like very misguided in a lot of ways. That's my main problem with it.
Yeah. Like, it continues my entire just thesis of just seeing, like, a lot of, like, indie developers all around this genre keep coming up with great, like, quality of life decisions independently of each other, but they're cargo culting so many other things that it doesn't feel like there's a net gain in anything.
I wonder if they play each other's games. Like, I almost feel like all of these games are made in a vacuum, and they played the Dark Souls games, but they haven't touched anything else. You know,
Yeah.
like this game doesn't feel like they took into account or were aware of, like, more thoroughly of, I don't know, Death's Gambit or like any of the other Salt and Sanctuary. Yeah, like it doesn't feel like a lot of these games play like other entries in the genre. Because that's what, like you said, they come up with good stuff independently, but nobody, nobody like just straight up takes stuff. Like, for example, like Death's Gambit has that really cool thing about the bosses, like telling you the threshold and like the phases and everything.
Yeah.
Or
I think they also kind of end up making the same mistakes independently of each other too, because they're all trying to make this Souls-like a priori.
well, it's also
Hit the same stumbling blocks.
I think a lot of them. I think there's a really big issue with people not knowing how to deconstruct the games they play. Like, this feels like a game that doesn't like break down Dark Souls. This feels like a game that goes by the reputation that like Souls games have. You know, because like what people say about Souls games isn't actually like how Souls games feel, at least in my opinion. Like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's the difficulty, it's the challenge, stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff about the level design and the pacing and just like general how the combat flows that doesn't really have to do with it just being like extra hard.
The minute-to-minute gameplay in a Souls game just feels good.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the biggest problem that these difficulty things have to do, because Dark Souls is fun, even if it's hard, it's fun to play. Fucking managing your tiny ass stamina bar and enemies that do 5 billion damage and have 5 billion health isn't fun.
No.
Like, just doing that is a chore, and that was never really in Dark Souls.
Yeah, the Dark Souls is a lot about like spatial awareness, understanding how enemies are generally positioned, and then, you know, if you don't understand how they're positioned, like where they're gonna ambush you, then you just, you know, take the hit next time you know they're there. But if you understand how the game thinks, then you can anticipate, okay, here's a blind corner, there might be something behind it. And it's also like about like trying, like giving you a challenge by placing enemies in like interesting positions. Like, there were a few times in this game where it was like, oh, here's a ladder that goes down, and it's a drop, and it's 2 archers that are gonna surround you. But if you explore more, you can go around and attack them from behind, and all of a sudden they're super easy to deal with because they're not surrounding you. Like, it had like it had a few moments like that, but it doesn't really maintain that. Like, at one point it's just like, here's like 5 mages. They're flying in the air, they have unblockable attacks, also a big guy with a hammer to help them. And it's like, well, what is that telling me? Like, I don't know, deal with it.
How do I overcome this challenge? You don't. Like, that's the main takeaway I think of this, is like, it presents you a challenge and then like you can't deal with it. You either fuck off and get a curse, or you deal with it and you take a bunch of damage and lose resources that you need for the boss that's coming up.
And then you get a curse.
Yeah, and then you get a curse anyway.
I mean, it also like like that last boss gauntlet, it was like, oh, here are 3 bosses in a row, and it's like, well, I'm probably gonna have to restart between bosses because there's no fucking way I can have enough resources to fight with every boss. Okay, what happens if I click play now? Where does it put me? Does it actually reset my save file? No, it puts me here. Okay. New entry in the Forge. I got some, yeah, we got some stuff here. What did we unlock down there in the Forge? Alright. Did I miss it? Or did we just not get anything?
Was it armor, maybe?
No, this part was glowing. Maybe it's an item? Oh. I don't know what we got in the Forge then. Okay, let's go back here. Yeah. So there we go. So I killed everything except 3 things, so that's why we don't have a good ending. At least it lets you like wrap up here, it doesn't go like good ending and then like, okay, bye, you failed. We unlock the rest of
Fucked up, now do everything over again.
Yeah, at least like it mercifully doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Where are my visual aids? I'm gonna hide this for a bit. Okay, I'm gonna do this one first because like it's much faster to do. Main problem with faith management in this game. I'm gonna actually like mark this with red and a bit thicker. Okay, how do you get faith? So you start off with a fixed amount of faith, so this is full. And how do you get faith? You get it by killing enemies, and you get it by using consumables. Consumables are kind of rare, so you can't really rely on them, but you can rely on killing enemies. Although that puts you at risk of like dying and using other resources. What do you spend faith on? You spend to cast spells. You spend to open special doors for pathways. You use it to open chests. You use it to obtain healings. You obtain blessings. You use it to heal. You use it to cure curses. And you use it for some special items like the one shield we have. This is kind of an issue. Like, when you have mana in Dark Souls or in like any regular game, it's kind of like, you use it for one thing, it's replenished by another thing, that's it. When you have souls in Dark Souls, it's used for either buying or leveling up, and it has 2 sources, which is enemies and items. So it's kind of proportional. This is really not proportional, this is like really problematic. At which point you're like, okay, because like opening doors, okay, now I'm kind of like, so like look at like so the opening doors part is the important one because this gives you new passages. So if I want to find a new path in the game and be like, okay, I want to like explore more, I want to find the other bosses, I want to do like other shit, or if I come across a door, I want to be able to open it, I need to forego spellcasting in the game, I need to forego opening chests in the game, obtaining like manual blessings, healing without items, curing curses, or using my special item. The really big problem here is like the spellcasting one. It's like you're never gonna spellcast. Why would I spellcast? Like if I can, what happens if I can't afford a door because the game is like chutes and ladders? I'm gonna fall down somewhere. So I'm gonna be like, okay, here's like a door here, and this door is like, oh, you need like, I don't know, 90. And I'm like, oh shit, well I could just cast a spell. I only have 70, so I need to kill a few more enemies. So you go down a ladder, but the ladder is a one-way ladder, and you drop down, and it's like, okay, here, you killed some enemies. Like here's like skulls and bones or whatever. You kill a bunch of enemies, and then it's like, cool, now I have 90 faith, but I can't go back here, so fuck me, now I'm punished for having used spells or some shit like that. So
Yeah.
that's like really bad. Like you like just putting this on paper, like here's the minuses, here are the pluses. You have disproportionate thing, and some of these things are really important for exploration. They're kind of like screwing over the player and not having them explore the mechanics of your game. Like, it's not good.
Like, even if it like gave a thing like, oh, you gained more faith because you got more curses, that would, at the rate they give curses in this game, that would feel like that would give at least sort of a better feedback loop there.
I also want to like point out that there are curses that just tell you can no longer gain faith. So that means if like, let's say like I had 20 faith, or let's say I had 15 faith, and let's say it's 20 faith to remove a curse from a shrine, if I find the shrine, by the way. And then like I'm at 15, and it's like, oh well, now you're cursed, you can't get faith, so now I have to rely on item drops to be able to remove that curse. But also because curses are like sequential, like if these are like 3 curses, and like this curse right here is the one that prevents you from getting faith, and I find a cure curse item, I need to cure this one first. So it's always cure the latest curse first. So that puts you in like really shitty positions where you might as well just go, I'm just gonna restart a run. Like, what's the point now? Because you'll just get to like a state, like you have to either rely on luck, or you have to like basically hope you're not blocked out of progress. So that's like number one critique of that. What is the other chart I want? The other one is more in depth. No, don't want to save this. Okay. Good place to here. Okay, so okay, my cursor is actually displaying. So we start like in the hub, and okay. So basically this is okay, so just explain what this is. This is basically a gameplay loop. Like, this is how the game flows in general. And you can have several loops. You can have a combat loop. So a combat loop would be something like attack enemy, or use stamina to attack enemy, wait to replenish stamina, dodge or block to like avoid damage and stuff like that. So you can break down anything in the game in a loop, and you generally use this to kind of have like an overview of how is my game flowing. And if you go to like the higher level you go, the more abstract it goes. So like this one is pretty like high level. This is generally like the room to room gameplay. So you start in the hub, you either go to a specific biome or checkpoint. First thing you do is you enter the room. So you enter the room. To explore the room, you have to spend faith, you have to spend health or armor, and you have to spend consumables. This is kind of like in a dotted arrow line, because it's a potential thing. So we may spend faith, but we don't have to. We may spend health or armor, but we don't have to. We may spend consumables, but we technically don't have to. So you don't have to do any of these. This is essentially if I'm playing badly or making mistakes, or if I want to, I don't know, spend faith to open doors, then these are resources I'm spending. When you explore the room, you either get like these things, which are upgrade attributes, earn skill points, permanently unlock gear. So essentially, you'll get stuff for when you restart the run. So that's your kind of like return on investment on these things that you're spending here. What do you get when you explore the room? Well, you may gain faith if you kill enemies, although this one is like almost a guarantee that you'll get it, unless you're cursed. You may restore health or armor, you may find consumables, you may upgrade your gear because you can find better stuff in the world, but also because this is not dotted, this is actually full, you will get cursed. So the room ends, if you die, you restart, if you survive, you go to the next room and you rinse and repeat. So essentially, depending on how well you're playing, like you might have a net gain and just be doing well, but you're just gonna keep stacking curses, like over and over and over. Technically, another error that you have here is like cure curse as like a potential thing you can do, but yeah. So basically, you're meant to just grind stuff until you unlock it, and then when you restart, you start somewhat stronger, and then you do that again. But your health is always at 2 because you can't unlock trinkets for some reason, so you're never like fully kitted out. So you're kind of encouraged to actually play the levels normally rather than using checkpoints to shortcut stuff. because the items you find will do more damage, the trinkets you'll find will give you more health. In general, there's a lot of systems here that conflict with each other, and it's really fucking annoying. Because like it feels a lot of it is punishing you for just playing the game. Like the more you play, because you're guaranteed to get cursed, you just like feel like this entropy is kind of catch up to you and just make it unplayable. And depending on which curse you get, it might be like generally unplayable. Like we had that one curse that was, oh, if you roll, you drop an item, and then you have to run back to get an item. But if you don't notice you dropped an item, you're kind of screwed. Or just like generally just compounding failure. Oh, you got hit. You got hit, so now you're gonna lose stamina additionally whenever you're hit. So you're gonna not just only take damage, you're also not gonna be able to defend yourself further, which means you're gonna take more hits.
So the loop turns from a gameplay loop of like overcoming adversity into just a struggle against attrition.
Yes, it is basically you will eventually just like not be able to like go further because you'll accumulate enough curses. Technically,
And I
technically, you might be able to remove all curses if you find a shrine and you have enough faith. But from what I've been playing, like whenever I cured curses, it seems like it increases the pace at which you reobtain curses. Like not drastically, but like if I had like 3 curses and I cured all 3 and I started playing, it feels like I got 3 curses faster than I did before I cured them.
I don't think the idea of the core gameplay loop being just a general eventual strife of just your resource attrition is not necessarily bad, but in the way that this is designed, it doesn't feel fun.
So
Yeah, the attrition is bumping up against all the rest of the stuff it wants you to do.
yeah, I mean, like one main argument you could always like use is like, oh, the game is meant to feel oppressive, so because we want it to be oppressive, that's why there's just like attrition, this like theme of entropy and just like you slowly like dying. And I feel that's a bullshit excuse because like
Yeah, because the runs, if you want to do that, they'll make the runs shorter.
yeah, it's like, but if it wants to, like, if they were to say, like, okay, like, we made this because we want it to be oppressive, I'd be like, okay, cool, it is oppressive, but I still don't think it's fun. Like, it is successfully oppressive, but it's not, like, successfully engaging in a lot of moments. Also, the curse thing, I said this on Discord, but how I think the curse actually works is there's like a timer in the background, which either checks real time or it checks how many rooms you've been through. I think it checks real time. Or a combination of both. And then once you reached a point where it says, okay, you need to have at least 1 curse at this point, then anything that can happen that might cause a trigger, it'll be like, okay, something hit you. Is there a curse associated with getting hit? Yes, there's an injury curse. Okay, here's a chance to apply it. Which is why, like in a lot of cases, when we would enter a new room, the game would just go, you entered a new room, here's a curse. And it's like, okay, why? Well, because like nothing else happened, so they probably have a start at the room check. And I think what we had at like start of the room checks were the armor, like the armor corrosion one, like which was like, oh, you didn't repair your armor for a long time, or you didn't pray for a long time. So it has these kind of like fallback ones which are practically guaranteed to happen. And just like basically just assumes, okay, if a run is lasting this long, you're gonna have this many curses. Because we, like, if you look at like the boss runs that we had, we never really had more than 1 curse during a boss fight. So, and if we look at like how long our runs lasted, usually when the runs reached around an hour mark, we had like around 4 curses if we didn't like remove any of them. So I think it's like that's kind of like how it's working. And I think it's just like they want you to be cursed, so it feels more difficult, but because they contextualize it and go, oh, okay, we're basically gonna give you a curse, but we're gonna like make it reasonable, so here's a curse because you got hit. And if you didn't get that curse, you would have gotten any other curse. So like it's not like in the back end, it's not you got cursed for playing badly, but what it looks like for the player, it's I got hit, I got cursed, and I'm like, why the fuck am I getting cursed? Like, isn't it enough that I'm taking damage? It's
Compounding failures.
it feels like that, even though it like actually it's more like a timer. Like it's just like you're in a timer, you're gonna get cursed. Like that's how it looks like to me. It's kind of like I said.
Even
Go ahead.
even on the high concept stuff, if you're taking that long anyway, you're kind of failing because the conceit of it is, if it's a run-based thing, you want to do them in as short of an amount of time. So the longer you're taking, the worse you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also like they wanted to make a run-based thing, but they also punish you for like you can't abandon a run. Like if you abandon a run, you start from like the very beginning, and because a run has to feel, I guess, fresh, you don't get a trinket, and you get weaker gear than if you would find, and not all gear is actually spawnable in at the start. So you are weaker off starting from a checkpoint than it took you to reach that checkpoint. But then it does stuff like, well, here's a bunch of curses, here's like a lot of things that make it difficult to survive for an extended period of time. So it's kind of like it makes it feel really bad to actually run through the game. It's also like if the game goes okay, you're gonna get better gear if you go through the dungeon properly instead of using the teleport to fight the boss. But then it's like, yeah, but for every room I go through, I'm risking actually dying and wasting time. So why would I do that? Like, it's better for me to spend, like, I think the longest we spent on the boss was the final boss. That was like half an hour, between half an hour and 40 minutes. It's better for me to like go at it for 40 minutes and learn the boss than have a run to a boss be like 20 minutes at a time and risk dying in that process. And also, by the time I reach a boss again, I'm gonna forget a lot of stuff. So it wants to be run based. It punishes you for being run based, but also the runs aren't interesting because it doesn't change anything. Like the item drops might change, but the part that changes is usually the number range. Sometimes enemies spawn as elites, but they're still the same enemies. So like if an archer spawns as an elite, if he wasn't an elite, it would just be a regular archer. Like they're always at the same spots. And the room layout and everything is also always manual. There's no randomization there. So it's literally restarting. It's literally like a roguelike with no procedural generation, no randomization, nothing really that makes it interesting to go through over and over again. It's like I don't know, it's like a really boring Diablo. The curse for consuming health potions felt like too much. Yeah. I mean, again, like, it's the game. It's the messaging problem, I think. Like, the game feels like it punishes you for doing a lot of shit. What it's actually doing is, it's actually just like giving you a curse because it needs to give you a curse. It's like I said, like in XCOM when you're fighting something and you're point blank and you have a 95% chance to hit, and then you shoot and your guy just misses, and everybody's like, how the fuck did he miss? He's literally standing in front of that thing. But the numbers are right, and if it were a board game, it would actually feel like fine because, you know, like in D&D, when you're in front of somebody, it's turn-based combat, and in D&D, the assumption
See the dice.
you can see that, but no, it's more like in D&D the assumption is if you're next to somebody and you're fighting them, and it's like you go first and then he goes after you. It's not the assumption that you're taking turns. The assumption, how it's described in like a DM guide, is you're constantly like fighting, dodging each other and stuff like that. That's what armor class is. So it's not like the world works by people taking turns. It's literally just like everybody's always constantly evading stuff on the lookout. That's why you have attacks of opportunity, because they're aware of their surroundings. But you're imagining that in your head. When you play XCOM, you see it visually. People are like, you see, okay, I'm standing in front of this like snake alien or whatever, and my guy just missed like point blank, and because the graphics are the way they are, it looks like it's a representation of what's going on, but it's more like an abstract representation of what's going on. But people still get frustrated because, they're not obliged to make that connection. They're playing a video game. So here is the same thing. Like, you feel like you're being punished for playing badly, but it's not that. The game is just contextualizing the curses it gives you. It could have easily just gone like, here's a curse. What is the curse to? I don't know, like minus the health because your character is slowly dying. And then if the context was, oh, the longer you play, the less health you have because you're slowly dying, then like, okay, it would feel oppressive, but you'd understand, okay, this is a central mechanic where I'm slowly dying. Whereas the way this is contextualizing it, it feels like, oh, you're punishing me for like, getting hit, or like you're making me fail even more because I already made a mistake. And then when they contextualize it with something dumb like healing, you're kind of like, well, I had low health, I had to heal, what the hell did you want me to do? Or you read a book and then it curses you for reading a book, and it's like, but like the book is there. Like, how was I supposed to know? Like, it didn't look anything different from any other book. You're just giving me a curse because, I've been reading and you have to give me something. Let's see.
Wow.
I did like old XCOM when my soldier missed a close shot by like 45 degrees and ended up hitting a squad mate in the back, but that was just too ridiculous for me to hate it. And old XCOM, the soldiers were extremely expendable. Yeah, and also like in old XCOM, like the graphics were like a bit more like abstract because they were like isometric 2D sprites, so it was kind of like, you didn't see like that close up rate. It wasn't like high fidelity. But yeah, I think this game is okay. I think it's a very good example of all the things that people are misunderstanding about Souls-like. The stamina meter in this game needs to fucking go. Like, this game would not be worse without a stamina meter. Like, it's ridiculous. Especially because they do this thing where, here's a stamina meter, it goes away really quickly, but then they don't make enemies around your stamina meter. They make enemies that just attack so much. And then you're like, okay, well, I don't have enough stamina to roll, I'm gonna block, and then they go, oh, here's an unblockable attack. Well, okay, I guess I'll just like dodge then. Oh wait, now I don't have stamina to actually attack them. And then they do so many consecutive attacks. And it's not just like, a combo swing. It's also, they do one attack and then they immediately shift gears to the second attack. Like, it feels like in the love.
Also,
go ahead.
Say that one of the big problems with that is as well is because they punish you with a slower regen time if you completely deplete your stamina, while also doing all these combos and stuff.
Yeah, and that's also really bad because the enemies are so fast, I cannot look at my stamina meter. Like, that stamina meter would have to be literally above my character's, like, sprite for me to be able to see it. Because, like, when you're dodging, like 5 attacks, and a game is as lethal as this, like, you're not gonna try and dodge. You don't want to get hit. You're not gonna go, like, oh, well, I'm not gonna dodge now because I might run out of stamina. Like, your immediate concern is, I'm gonna lose health and die. There was one time when the final boss fight where I didn't do anything. Yeah, like, a lot of this feels like I lucked out with RNG, like, to be honest. And some of the fights were really over-designed. Like, that final boss fight did not need ads. There's another boss I was annoyed with that I think, like, they didn't need some shit.
Crow Lady was also really over-designed, in my opinion.
The Crow Lady was... yeah, she was over-designed, but also Crow Lady got much easier when you realize you have to block her and not dodge her. That was my main issue. Also, speaking of blocking and dodging, the fact that you can only have one loadout, like when you restart here, like here, when you can only have one loadout, fucking inexcusable. There's no reason for that. Like, why would you? What is the point of an unlockable bow? What is the point of an unlockable spellbook? Like, you can have a spellbook with a one-handed weapon. but other than that, you're not gonna use it. You can't use a bow with a one-handed weapon, and you have like if it was infinite arrows, then sure, whatever. But you have a finite number of arrows. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in a position where you cannot deal damage in the game? Like you'll just
And did we ever like find arrow drops separately?
yes, they. I can't remember what it is. You do replenish your arrows slowly as you kill enemies. I don't remember what it was exactly.
So from my observations of it, the bow wasn't any more powerful than things that didn't require ammunition. And I think that's also kind of a game design failure because when your basic way of interacting with enemies is a limited resource, the way to make up for that is to make it more powerful than your unlimited resource.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd never take the bow over the sword, which ended up happening because the bow is just as good as the sword. It's just also, for whatever reason, bows are limited.
Well, I guess their takeaway is, oh well, if you use a ranged weapon, then you're far away and you're not in danger. But then it's like, well, that's not true because all of these bosses have very long range attacks or teleports or ads that shoot arrows at you, or they just go in your face, so it doesn't really matter. Like it's okay maybe for the engineering, but you still don't want to like play through it. Why would you put yourself in a position where you can't deal damage? It's like
I mean, even in dungeoneering, like you're still spending more resources with no guarantee of a return
yeah,
on those same resources.
yeah,
So you just attrit faster and then die faster after you run out of arrows.
yeah. No, it's like really bad. Like they should have let you have a full loadout. Like I don't understand why they didn't let you do that. That in my mind is a failure, and it's also it doesn't let you do interesting things. Like it doesn't let you say. There were a few times when I played normally and reached like a boss where I could be like, okay, I have a sword and board in one loadout, and I have a sword and a spell book in another. So like I'd switch, cast a spell, and then switch back to my other thing, and then like I'd feel smart because okay, I'm taking advantage of all my gear, and you just like deny the player from like doing that. It's kind of like okay, I'm just gonna pick like big sword. Okay, big sword is bad for this. I'm gonna pick small sword. Okay, that's it. Like that. Those are your choices. Oh, here's a cool new weapon. Shame it's 2 slots, or shame it's like bad against this boss or whatever. So I don't, and like all of the weapons, like you just feel so slow. Like even like the fist weapons feeling slow as they do compared to enemy attacks is just ridiculous. Like I get behind big sword being slow to swing, but like as soon as I get poked out of a fucking punch, like that's like unacceptable.
That also was like a big issue because as well in the final boss that was also kind of an issue with the ads because the big sword ad swung faster than your big sword like every time. Like they would start their swing in the middle of your swing and knock you out of that swing.
Yeah, I mean the game doesn't like even. You don't need to really like have stamina on enemies, but you should like really fake it. Like you should be like, okay, you did an attack. You can move, but you can't do another attack for like X seconds, just to simulate them actually, also having some limitations. And again, this because the stamina bar is so low, you're just like in a situation where the only way to defend myself is to spend stamina, and the only way to deal damage is to spend stamina. So instead of making it interesting of me balancing this like attack and defense equilibrium, it goes into okay, I depleted my entire stamina bar dodging, now I can't attack, and by the time my stamina replenishes, if I attack, I'm putting myself at risk of not having enough stamina to dodge the follow-up attack. But if I save my stamina and dodge the follow-up attacks, I still don't have enough stamina to attack. So it gets like super ridiculous because it's very hard to manage it.
Very much a system of waiting for the enemy to just decide to not attack for some reason.
Well, yeah, it ends up doing this thing that I've noticed a lot of Souls-like did was like guerrilla combat, where it's like walk in, attack once, roll away, wait, Walk in, attack once, roll away. Like, you have these weapons that have a 2 or 3 hit combo, and you're just terrified of doing the combo because you're gonna get punished for it, so you just like poke them once and run back. It's like this it's like the extreme version of somebody showing easy way to defeat the final boss of Sekiro, where they literally did that. But in that game there's no stamina. But you know, that's the way you can play. You can play for 30 minutes against the boss by poking them and running away. If you want to, but like in a lot of these games it almost feels like you have to do that. Like, the only boss I could wail at was, like, that queen, because she was just, like, stationary and more like a gimmick boss than anything. I don't know. I should probably say good things about this game. What are the good things? The Bulwark.
Pretty decent sprite arc.
Sprite art is really good. I like the art. I feel the game is a bit too dark, but, I think the sprite art is very nice.
Yeah, the sprite art's nice.
Actually, no.
I wish it had a more distinct style, but it's definitely well done.
We can actually now go back to the game since we're talking about it again. Yeah, sprite art is very nice. Actually, can I spend stamina here? Let's say, like... Is like a roll more than a swing? Yeah, like dodge rolling is actually more than a swing with a heavy sword. That's ridiculous.
That's... Oof.
That's a lot of stamina. This here, it's okay. I feel like a lot of these are kind of useless. That's kind of the problem here. Like, oh, here's a skill system, and you're like, okay, the first one's like, okay, minus to miss, stamina regeneration, crit, speed, fire damage. These are like good choices. I can be like, okay, I can see myself picking different ones. Here's like, plus 5 crit for each hit until critting. Why would you not take this? This is literally guaranteed like damage. And here, reduce spell incantation time. Shame I'm not encouraged to use spells. Perfect block equal 100% crit. Okay, I have to do a very risky high skill maneuver to potentially get a payoff or get guaranteed payoff. Like, why? Why would you bother? Fifth block will destabilize your foe. I do not want to like imagine what, like, you have to block somebody 5 times in a row. That's ridiculous. Well, like I don't even. You need to spend so much stamina, and you basically need to wait. Like, I don't think that's like good. And I'm assuming this doesn't work on bosses, but I don't know. Weapon dashes deal damage, increases stamina cost. Okay, this is like a specialty thing. If I used fist weapons, I might have tried this. What's here? Armor slows enemies down. Killing carries 25% chance to give armor back. This one's good. Like, this one's like objectively good for playing long runs. Your steps generate fire. Like, whatever. Like, unless that fire is like ridiculously damaging, I don't care. Plus 3 base armor, like, there is no reason not to take this. This is literally just, you have 3 free hits. Like, unless you're, like, if you're fighting a boss, you should just take this. And if you're doing a dungeon run, you could like take this if you have good armor. Losing 1 armor point creates an explosion. That sounds ridiculously gimmicky.
Was that ever useful, or did we ever actually take that?
I never used it, no. I don't know if it's useful, but it's also like...
We didn't beat the Crow Lady till like pretty much the end of the game.
Yeah. But it's also like, it's one of those things of... This is good if you get hit, but you're trying your best not to get hit. You could argue that this is also good, like, only if you get hit, like, oh, only if you lose armor, you get armor back. But... like, this will happen, like... This will happen every time you get hit. This can, like, happen if you lose armor for, you know, spending blood to open a door in the later areas and whatnot. Or just, like, if you find armor that's damaged already.
And then just straight up having more armor is just better, because, again, it's more health.
Itchfolk Killed gives you arrows. Okay, I guess this is, like, if you play a bow, why would you use a bow? Spells cost... Spell cost 5 less faith. 5 less faith. 5 is nothing. Like, if this was 50% less, I'd be like, okay, now it's good. Like 5 less faith is just garbage.
Yeah, no, just using raw numbers is never. You should always do like bonuses like that should be percentile, because that way at least it can stay.
Yeah. 100 crits until you roll. That's kind of shit. Like that's just okay. If you're playing a blocking build, maybe it's good, but like you're gonna roll because there's unblockable attacks. You're never gonna be like, oh, here's an undodgeable attack you have to block. Like there hasn't been an undodgeable attack. Plus 1 damage per boss defeated. Okay. Exploding arrows. Okay, if you use arrows, but again, we're not using arrows because we're discouraged from starting with them. Dodges are replaced with teleporters. This could either be pretty good or pretty garbage. Casting a spell generates a random effect. Like if... What's this one? Discovering a room increases your damage. Like, okay, this may be for dungeoneering. But like, this top row is just... whatever. Like, this might be good, but if it's garbage, then I would probably use, like, this. But I don't know if random effect is both good or bad. So, like, the skill system is very uninteresting to me. Like, the only, like, interesting decision-making one is down here. That's it.
Yeah.
Because it covers, like, different things. Because, oh, if I have a weapon that has, you know, 10% mischance to it, then okay, I can mitigate that. Also, by the way, mischance.
Mischance sucks.
Mischance.
Why would you put a mischance in this kind of game?
Mischance, worst fucking thing ever. This game does not need mischance on top of everything. I have, like, no excuse for that. Mischance is like, if I'm playing a Diablo-style game, then you give me mischance. You don't give me mischance in something where I have to actually take into account spacing, stamina, and fucking timing.
Or, yeah, like a turn-based game.
If damage is already on a sliding scale of high or low. Like, just simulate that by, oh, you rolled low on your damage roll, why have a miss on top of that?
Yeah, like, the miss is just pointless.
Like, Tyrion just put it best there. I can already miss myself, game.
Yeah, it's really good when I had like 2 misses in a row against a boss, and I'm I'm like this fight is already hard without your bullshit. Like, I'm guessing they're doing that to balance out the weapons, but I'm kind of like, whatever.
It can't be that because they already put damage variation. That's the balancing part of the weapon.
Well, and also like animation duration, like startup animation and shit like that. Yeah, so yeah, I don't like that. I did say I would say things like, I like the Bulwark fight. I think the guy with the shield, really good fight, because midway he breaks his shield and the pace changes, but like it's telegraphed very clearly and you understand what's happening because music changes, his shield explodes, he changes his stance, the lighting in the level changes, and you're kind of like, okay, cool, I am now super fucking clear that we are in a different type of playstyle now. Like, there's no doubt about it. And not like, you know, oh, I'm fighting the final boss and then he has low health and just decides, or no, I fight the dual bosses and then like all of a sudden I drop down one boss and all of a sudden, without any indication, here's infinite arrows. It's like, is this infinite arrows because I killed your friend? Is this infinite arrows for some other reason? Is it bugged out? Is it RNG? I don't know. So it's really weird that it like does face changes both good and bad at times. The monk fight.
I actually like the health system.
The what?
I like the health being like concentrated. You just have this many hits to die.
Yes.
Versus like this sliding scale of bars and numbers.
Yes.
I think that's actually a really good idea for these kind of games.
Yes, it is really good. I like the health system as well. I think it is very clear to understand. I think it doesn't often feel frustrating because you don't have invulnerability frames. So if like 2 things hit you one right after the other, you're gonna take all the damage. There's like no like hit stun invulnerability or whatever. So how they make stuff more lethal later in the game is essentially, oh, this has multiple hits, like in a row. Like the crow Reaper thing that like spins around, or like that last fight where it like hits you against the pinball bumper. But yeah,
Right.
health system is pretty good. And I feel like for most part it's like balanced well. Like the later boss fights feel harder, even though they don't technically do more damage. That's definitely alright. What else is there? I like the monk fight. The monk fight was really good. The one where he has a stand that mimics his moves.
Yeah, the monk fight is probably one of my favorites that I've seen in this game because that was really cool. Aside from that, like wave that attack that lasts too long, but otherwise, it's
Yeah, the wave attack was definitely like, okay, how long are you gonna keep at this? I'm just gonna enter something. What else is there in the game?
The obelisks you find for exploring is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think the exploration like isn't actually that bad. Like I enjoy. I don't think like the lack of jumping is bad. I think like a shoots and ladder approach is pretty fine. Like okay, everything is basically points of no return. I don't mind that. It never felt like oh man, I wish I could like, you know, jump 2 meters at least or some shit like that. Except with the wizards. But yeah, and the map is like the map looks confusing at first, but at least it's like pretty clear. Okay, there are these many exits here. One is located roughly here. One is located roughly here. Tells you how many faith chests there are, whether there's a rune that you collected or not. Tells you whether there's a checkpoint. Like it's like the exploration part isn't really that bad, and it's not like super hard either. No,
Items being on the face buttons, or not the face buttons, the D-pad is like a pretty neat quality of life thing.
yes, I would appreciate though if they weren't arranged like this. I wish they were arranged like the actual D-pad, like up, down, left, right, rather than this like weird. Like the sequence is clockwise, but like in the heat of the moment, like I'm gonna be like, okay, wait, is it like left or right for like my healing or my bomb or whatever?
yeah.
Oh my god.
I think the UI could probably just have some issues design-wise, but that's UI design's hard.
What else is there? I think it needed a pause button. I don't understand why it doesn't have it.
Dark Souls didn't have a blah 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 pause button. Have a pause button.
Like if it's like I feel like if you don't want people to like pause the action and have the option to do something like, oh, I'm gonna manage my inventory now while it's paused, or like look at the area, you can always do things like, okay, you can just do pause that like blocks off like your UI or whatever if you really want to be like that, but you don't really need to even be like that. Rust sickle. Man, some of these ranges are like wild. 84 to 154. Yeah, Dark Souls doesn't have it because of like because of online. I'm kind of hoping that now that Sekiro has a fucking pause button, like people will stop doing that as well. People are like, oh wow, Sekiro is really advanced. It doesn't have any like it has a pause button, so maybe we should have a pause button now. And maybe even better, people will be like, oh, Sekiro doesn't have a stamina bar. We're gonna remove stamina bars as well, and I can finally play video games again. There we go. Got our curse.
The people making Dark Souls likes aren't making the same, you know, design iterations and learning the same lessons that the actual people who made Dark Souls did.
Yeah.
The lore is kind of neat, or the letters, I think, are kind of thematically neat.
I do like the writing.
They're very consistent.
Yeah, I like the writing because, like, it's purple prose when you'd expect purple prose, and it's like normal people talking for most part when you talk to them.
Yeah.
I also feel like the story is pretty much like you can engage with it if you want, but you don't have to. And I think like the individual characters you meet are more interesting than actual plot. Like who gives a like I don't give a fuck about the plot in this game, but like I like some of the characters. Yeah, let's wait for my stamina to replenish. Oh my god. Stamina, where art thou? What did I get? Wow, I got like 2. Oh, I'm bleeding. Cool. Scenery idol. You okay there, buddy? Have I hurt you there badly? Is this like an elite? I think it's an elite. Yeah, it was an elite, okay. Gotta drop this. Rusted sickle. But yeah, I'd say in terms of like general quality and whatnot, I'd say this is. I think if somebody asked me like, oh, do you want to play like Death's Gambit or this, I'd probably go like play the first half of Death's Gambit. But if you want to play like both games to completion, this one's probably like more
solid.
It's more consistent. Like it doesn't. This never like gets a nosedive in quality. It's always kind of like, yeah, we have curses and we have ads and we have shit. Like I've never been like. It's not like this like in Death's Camp. It's like, oh, this is all right, and then just like nosedives when you go into the abyss underwater thing, and then after that it just never picks up. And this is more like, oh, that was kind of neat. Oh, now it sucks. Oh, now it's good again. Oh, now it sucks. Oh, now it's interesting. Oh, now it sucks again. So it's kind of like a more. After a while, you just get numb to it, and it's more like a constant. Yeah, I didn't like Death's Gambit. I like the first half of it, but after that, it like stopped being interesting. But yeah, I think that's like everything I can say about this game. It's all right. Like there's a lot of things it stumbles upon. I'm still gonna say out of all the indie Souls-like, Self and Sanctuary and Unworthy are probably the best ones so far. Like this is different enough to like, oh, if you don't want like a direct Dark Souls clone, then play this, but it still has issues. But it's a good design exercise to just compare the various systems, how they interact. Like I said, stamina bar, like throw it in the bin or make it more generous. This would be much more enjoyable, and know when to fucking cool it. With the bosses, like just like at one point just go stop, or even better, give your bosses a move budget, and then just go. The boss cannot go over this budget. Like that. This is the hard limit for how many things a boss can have, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then like categorize those moves by something like, okay, this is gonna be rare, but it's gonna be powerful or tricky or whatever. This is gonna be more common, and these are like the most common moves. Make sure there's pauses between enemy attacks. Yes. And
Just scrap 8-hit combos. Throw them directly in the garbage.
yeah, I don't feel like a combo like that. That is like I feel like in 8-hit combos, you just ask yourself, did the game bug out? Like that's my first reaction. Like, is this broken right now? Did we do something badly? And I feel like the curse system should not have been contextual curses. I think it should have just been like, oh, you've been revived, but your body is always slowly dying, and then it just keeps giving you slowly penalties. Like, consistent penalties as you're going along. Because then you would be like, okay, I get it, I'm slowly dying, I'm a corpse, whatnot, like the living undead, a hollow. Instead, the current system just makes you go like, the game is just like kicking you when you're down. Like, that's the impression you get. Same thing when enemies just stand still, looks like the game bugged out. Yeah, they should just like have cooldown. I also think the unblockable attack, it would work well if this game consistently had like 2 enemies on screen, maybe at max. But because sometimes it has like 5 enemies, and each of them may have an unblockable attack, and then you're kind of like, okay, cool, you're warning me there's an unblockable attack. Where the heck is it coming from? Who is doing it? What is it? Like, you just know something's gonna be unblockable, so you just like spam the fucking dodge button. Those kind of things are like things definitely should have been improved. But I don't like hate it. Like I think it's okay. Literally, I was just like literally this is an okay game as far as I'm concerned. Just sometimes very frustrating.
Final rating. How many Inferno Climbers out of 30?
Are more Inferno Climbers bad or good?
More Inferno Climbers are better.
More Inferno.
Because if it's just one Inferno Climber, then it's just Inferno Climber.
Oh, okay. Of 30. This would be like 16 Inferno Climbers, 17, something like that. Like, it's okay.
So then, what is Bloodborne like? 29 Inferno Climbers.
Yeah. I don't know what a 30 Inferno Climber game would be. Bloodborne is probably in the high 20s. Yes. Like, I don't feel like I can compare this to a main From Software game, because main From Software games have budget, experience, and money, and manpower, and all sorts of fucking things. I can only...
And you kind of need to grade indie games on a different scale.
Yeah, like, it's a different price, but I feel like if we took all the indie Souls-likes, and I'm not counting The Surge or Lords of the Fallen, because that's also like a higher budget and a bigger team. So if we just count like Salt and Sanctuary, Unworthy, That's Gambit, Inferno Climber, shit like that, I would say play Salt and Sanctuary, play Unworthy, and then play this, then play That's Gambit. Shit, what other Souls like did I play? Oh, Luca is like second to last. Inferno Climber is last. I'm not gonna count the Surge. The Surge is like, it's too high budget. I don't feel it's fair to this game, to count those games. But yeah, out of all the average ones we've played, this is the best one, I think. Despite all my yelling and annoyances. If I were to count Lords of the Fallen and The Surge, I would say play this over Lords of the Fallen, because this is at least interesting. I'd say play The Surge over this, probably. But again, that's not like a fair comparison in any way. I'm gonna host Voice of Dog, who's playing Wright versus Layton, which is one of my favorite Souls-like crossovers. So I will catch you later. And on Friday, we will be streaming PlayStation 1 demo discs, so please stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the show, please follow the channel, and you can also join the Discord and chat about Souls likes or other things, I guess. Good night.
Thanks for suffering with us.